jury selection's been amazing. The candidates are being asked about their own connections to or impressions of an array of celebrities, and with no explanation why, at least not yet. The parlor games have begun, my friends. Everybody is trying to connect the dots between the shiny, famous names and the beleaguered rap star Diddy.
Diddy's crew just dropped some wild heat. Leaked tapes that allegedly show Lauren London in a whole different light.
I went to a seminar about death.
Okay, you have to tell me. Well, you're just telling me this now.
I know, yeah.
Please share.
Why? I have a friend.
Why were you there? And what did you learn?
I learned that no one really dies and that, it's just an experience in the physical form and we're attached to our personalities, but that we're just souls and that we continue and continue and continue.
And the streets are buzzing with claims that she snitched on Nipsey, her own baby daddy. People are now throwing her name into some serious conspiracy talk, saying maybe this whole thing was a setup from the beginning.
Nip ain't know what type of monster he was. Lauren?
No, I'm saying Lauren introduced me to Puff.
Oh, got you.
I knew Puff, but it was more of a personal relationship after, we was at Cassie's birthday.
Okay, you have to tell me. Well, you're just telling me this now.
I know, yeah.
Please share.
Why? I have a friend.
Why were you there? And what did you learn?
I learned that no one really dies and that, it's just an experience in the physical form and we're attached to our personalities, but that we're just souls and that we continue and continue and continue. And if you have a spiritual relationship with someone on earth, you will have one with them when you leave earth. So I did this 2-day seminar on death. So,
and this was how long ago?
I had to be 25.
What sent you there? Do you find that weird though?
I'm weird.
No, it's not weird that you would go. It's almost like you were preparing yourself for what you would have to deal with.
Well, I told you I didn't have connection to earth at a young age.
I know, but you don't find that as you were preparing yourself for what you were going to have to deal with.
Well, that we're all going to have to deal with.
The whispers in Hollywood ain't new. If you've been tuned in, you already know folks been talking about some underground footage being passed around. But this ain't no regular party reel. Nah. These tapes allegedly expose big-name celebs caught in the middle of Diddy's dark world. We're talking about secret recordings, illegal scenes, and some nasty behind-the-scenes stuff that would leave anybody stunned. And the crazy part, a lot of the people caught on tape had no clue cameras were rolling.
You know what I'm saying? Nip had no ego. So, you know what I'm saying? Nip came to me and said, I want you to mentor me. I want to get into real estate. I want you to teach me all your, your business secrets. You know what I'm saying? I was like, whenever you got questions, pull up. And then on his last album, people do not know this. Somebody tried to jerk me, but I fixed it. I actually am one of the executive producers of Nipsey Hussle's last album.
Victory Lap.
Yeah, Victory Lap.
Industry veterans like Jaguar Wright and Gene Deal been warning everybody. They said for years that Diddy's skeletons would eventually hit the surface. And now, with Diddy's trial officially underway, it's all exploding. Celebs are being linked to some of the wildest, most twisted allegations, from secret freak sessions to shady money moves. Diddy's so-called parties might have been just the front. The real madness popped off at the after-parties. And only certain folks got the invite to that. Here's the thing, though. Most of the celebs mentioned ain't denying they hit up Diddy's events.
You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped?
Yes, there have been people already shopping.
We've heard about the tapes, but
yes.
The shopping thing is...
Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood.
I sat right here and told y'all there was activity on the darknet. Videos were being distributed and were going to be sold for profit because the diddler needs the money. Did I not say that? Said that. Right here.
Yeah. But they're quick to say they dipped before things turned crazy. But let's be real. If you keep showing up where shady stuff's going down, you probably ain't just there for the snacks. And get this, Lauren London's name came up during jury selection on day one of the trial. They were asking jurors if they recognized a list of A-listers, including Kanye West. That means her name is being officially floated in court now, and that changes everything.
Are people forgetting it was her
and Lauren London. I just find it so funny how people are always omitting names and not really looking into the true facts. Hook up with the biggest rapper at the time. Everything's great. By the way, isn't she? Lauren is the one that introduced Nip to Diddy. Diddy couldn't even get to Nip, even though he had ties in L.A. It was Lauren that brought Nip to him.
And even Nipsey confirmed it on the Breakfast Club when he was alive.
Cassie, Lauren London, and a few others are getting dragged into the fire. And now people are asking the real questions. Why was Lauren even on that list? And what if, just what if, she's got some kind of tie to the rumors swirling around Nipsey's death? Folks are side-eyeing hard now, wondering, was she really loyal? Or could she have been playing both sides all along? See, the streets ain't saying this was just some random act. Nah, the new talk is that Nipsey's murder was a calculated move, a straight-up power play. And once you dig deeper, things start looking real shady.
Bruh, those people who was caught at Diddy party did not know that he had 250 tape recorders in that house. That's a big house. But he had 250 tape recorders.
Never ain't know what type of monster he was.
Lauren? No, I'm saying Lauren introduced me to Puff.
Oh, got you.
I mean, I knew Puff, but it was more of a personal relationship after, we was at Cassie's birthday.
Nipsey wasn't just another rapper blowing up. He was moving different. He wasn't dancing to the industry's tune, wasn't bowing to the gatekeepers. He was making boss moves, operating like a king. And to the wrong people, that was a threat, a major one. Then boom! Diddy gets arrested, and suddenly the floodgates open. The rumors turn up. Allegations start flying that Diddy himself might have allegedly had a hand in setting Nipsey up. That ain't just gossip, that's shaking the entire culture. Let's not forget, Nipsey was just 33 when he got gunned down in broad daylight right outside his Marathon store on March 31st, 2019. Shot at least 10 times. Eric Holder got snatched up for it and sentenced to 60 years. But the word on the street, he was just the shooter, a pawn. The real puppet master? Someone with power, someone with reach. That's where Diddy's name keeps creeping back in. Jaguar Wrights begett sig att skrika från taket att Diddy påstod att ha vetat mer än han någonsin erkänt. But here's the part that really flips the script. Diddy didn't do it alone, allegedly. The streets say he had someone close to Nipsey feeding him inside info.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Nip had no ego. So, you know what I'm saying? Like Nip came to me and said, I want you to mentor me. I want to get into real estate. I want you to teach me all your, like your business secrets. You know what I'm saying? I was like, whenever you got questions, pull up. And then on his last album, people do not know this. Somebody tried to jerk me, but I fixed it. I actually am one of the executive producers of Nipsey Hussle's last album.
Victory Lap.
Yeah, Victory Lap.
Someone nobody would suspect. And now, all eyes are turning to Lauren London. People are connecting dots and pulling receipts, even digging up old clips. One of them? An interview where Nipsey hinted at tension during his Breakfast Club appearance. Fans now wonder, was she just his girl? Or was she Diddy's undercover chess piece, planted there to watch his moves, maybe even sway his decisions? The street's been whispering for a minute now, and it's getting loud. Folks say Lauren London and Diddy were way closer than anybody thought. Too close. Rumors been swirling that she might have been one of Diddy's so-called yacht girls, or even a mule, just like people say about Young Miami. And now, that's exactly why folks think the court pulled Lauren's name into all this. Old pics started popping back up. And man, they don't lie. Lauren and Diddy looking real cozy like they got history. And the wildest part? In some of them, you can spot Nipsey chilling in the background, looking like the third wheel. That right there raised a ton of eyebrows. Then after Nipsey passed, Lauren sat down for an interview with Angie Martinez. And that's when things took a weird turn. She said it was Diddy who helped her through her grief, but it's what he told her that made everybody's skin crawl. She quoted him saying, "Look, boo, you have shown everybody what it looks like to hold a man down and to love him. Now show them what it looks like when it all crumbles. That's your responsibility." Hold up! That don't sound like some basic comfort talk. That sounds personal. That kind of message don't come from just a friend. That sounds like there's something deep between them. And it gets crazier. Lauren said Diddy called her Boo, the same exact name Nipsey used to call her. Fans caught that quick and started asking, why would Diddy use a nickname that belonged to her and Nip?
Now, you taking a spiritual person who's asking for something. He said, I wanted that same feel as life after death. That same feel was that Biggie got and he went on to sell about 10 million albums or 10 million copies. I was saying, you got to watch what you say to demons because it just might come true.
That's mad disrespectful. Or maybe it ain't disrespect if it wasn't a coincidence. And it ain't over yet. In that same sit-down with Angie, Lauren said she had already attended a death seminar before Nipsey even passed. Angie looked confused, but fans were straight up shook. Like, what are the chances of that? Why go to a whole grief seminar before your man dies? Unless you had some idea what was coming. It's giving serious setup vibes. The whole thing's got people flashing back to how Diddy reportedly bought a whole gold coffin for Kim Porter months before she died. Now mix that with how close Diddy was getting to Nipsey, and it's looking less like coincidence and more like something was planned out all along. Nipsey wasn't plugged into the industry like that. He was doing his own thing, building from the ground up. But Lauren, she had the keys, she had the access. And once she brought Nip around, that's when Diddy entered the picture, and everything started shifting. Out of nowhere, Puff was tied into Nipsey's career moves. And here's the kicker. Diddy even helped with Victory Lap, Nipsey's most legendary album. Back then, fans thought that was a major win. But now, a lot of folks think that collab might have been a straight-up trap. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, just came out and spilled some tea. He said Nipsey personally asked Diddy to help make Victory Lap feel like Biggie's life after death. That's the exact energy Nip was chasing. A timeless legacy, a heavy-hitting vibe, something that would live forever. But think about that. Life After Death dropped after Biggie got taken out. Gene said that move, that was Nipsey's biggest mistake. Because once Diddy got his foot in the door, he dug in deep. Real deep. Suddenly, Nipsey wasn't in the studio grinding anymore. He was hanging out more and more at Diddy's mansion. And that's when things started feeling off. Fans noticed it. Nipsey started looking burned out, tense, like something heavy was weighing on him. His energy shifted. His whole vibe started changing. Now there's a theory floating. Diddy saw Nipsey as a threat, a real one. He wasn't just a rapper. He was a smart, independent voice from the streets. A revolutionary who wouldn't bend for Hollywood or the puppet masters behind the scenes. So the question is, when a man like Nipsey won't fold, what do you do when you can't control him? When you can't control a man like Nipsey, the streets say there's only one way out. You remove him. But even then, someone had to open the door. And right now, a lot of fingers are pointing at Lauren London. So the real question is, what did Lauren really know? With all these alleged secret tapes now linked to Diddy's inner circle, the whole narrative is shifting fast. Maybe she wasn't just a grieving partner. Maybe she was out here trying to cover up what went down behind the scenes. And now that the trial is officially live and she's been named by the court, we might finally start getting the real answers. No more whispers, no more speculation. The truth might just come to light, for better or worse. Of course, the internet's been on fire with takes. Some saying Nipsey's downfall came because he never bowed to darkness. One commenter said, If Nip was a coward like the others who surrendered to the devil and Diddy, he'd still be here. But he stayed 10 toes down and connected to God. That's why they had to take him out. Another voice deep in the conspiracy lane said Aida. Someone who sees the underworld, believes Lauren had a real hand in it too. They claimed she wasn't supposed to get that money. She just locked in that Puma deal. Diddy and Jay-Z, they life swap and steal souls. And then came the gut punch. I always felt her pain wasn't real. Nipsey's fans cried more in public than she did. I didn't even know him, and it hurt my heart. It's messy, it's dark, and it's only getting wilder as this trial unfolds. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss a single drop of this chaos. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think really went down behind the scenes? See you on the next one. This saga ain't over yet.